Welcome to the Mixtape Lounge. Carey Stinson, Josh Martin. How are you, Mr. Martin?
My brother, I'm great. How are you?
Man,
Good to
I
see
am
you.
good. I'm good. Just got back from Indy. Got back from
Right?
of America.
Woo! That
Uh,
was a quick, crazy trip, wasn't it?
It was, and you'll love it because I had to go back
Go
to my
on.
days of gigging, and
Yes.
I had to drop in and do a little prop work on Saturday night for
Okay.
for the finals of BOA. I was out running tarps on Lucas Oil Field for the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, felt good, still in shape, felt good there
That's
because
some that's
it,
some gigging, huh?
I'm telling you, it is timed. It's timed. So I have a little team of the students that pick it up. I run out with them and then I help them get it onto the field. And then I got to run across the damn field before they start and then run back afterwards and get it off the field. You have a specific time or you get penalized. So went back in
That's it.
and 2 hours of loading a truck. I mean, it was just like the good old days.
Uh-huh. All right, that's done. Now let's get to work.
That's exactly it.
Right?
I'm running these stairs up a ramp, going, I think I've been here before.
Yeah, huh, deja vu. Where have I done this before? Oh yeah.
Oh shoot! Well,
Good for you.
I got to tell you, dude, it brought back all this memories because one of my favorite, and I think I probably told it, but one of my favorites was the last time I was in Indy. I was on a tour bus with with Harold and Amber and that crew. Good
Yes.
memories were coming back from there too. I was like, I think this
Well,
is where,
my memories of Indianapolis were me and Lee
yeah.
got out of costume and hopped in a cab with it was Rich and Seth, and we rode over to Marilyn Manson at a little arena before this was like 90, this was 97, like right before he took super off. But at that show, there were lines of protesters at the show.
Oh, that's
Um,
right. When all that was going down.
uh-huh. And I had, to be honest, I was still young and a little bit naive, and I wasn't too sure about going and seeing this show. But the boys were going. And I was like, well, if I was ever going to check out this act, this would be the time to do it. And and sure enough, we walked in backstage after they had started the show, and they had already cleared a couple of set pieces. And I'll save you the graphics, but it was at that point that I realized, oh, oh, these are set pieces like we got. I'm not even joking. And it was at that point oh, okay. And then I was good. I was like, whatever. He's still a little wacky.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody will argue with that. But you know, there was a moment where the two worlds kind of came together in an odd way, for me at least. Uh, and even further after the show, when we were backstage, me and Lee were just standing around watching all the worker
Yeah.
ants doing their thing,
Yeah.
and the boys were saying hi to their friends. And the next thing you know, we turn and this big, tall, skinny, long-haired, stringy haired guy is standing with his platform boots, and he goes, "Hey, thanks for coming to the show." And it's Brian Warner, aka Marilyn Manson. And he's already a big dude. He's already a tall guy, like six.
He
I
doesn't
don't
need the
know.
boots.
He doesn't need the boots, and he was already kind of looking down to me. But then he had to like kneel down to shake Lee's hand.
Oh yeah.
And at that point, you know how you can tell when a room is staring at you or
Yeah.
looking in your direction? Dude, every worker and every groupie, every security guard was like, why is he? Who is that? and then you could tell that people, the word got around that who Lee was, because of course everybody knew who the big guy was.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, that was a random backstage on the road hookup story. And then you walked out in the crowd and there was nothing but 15-year-olds.
Right.
Oh, okay, I get it too. I get it.
Oh, that's so funny. It's so
But
funny.
yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
you were talking about being fit. I'm sorry not to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to interrupt you. You're talking about you're still in shape, being
Yep.
on the indie field. To go back a little bit because I don't think we spoke about it, at least not in length. You recently did a tri-marathon or something like that.
Spartan.
What was
I
it?
did a Spartan.
Decathlon? A Spartan. There it is. Did we talk about it, or am I just did
No, I
I
don't
forget
think we,
about it?
no, I don't, I think we talked about me going to do it. I don't think we talked about me doing it. Um,
That's right.
yeah,
Okay.
it was a trip. It was 10K, so that's 6.1 miles and 25 obstacles. Um,
Yeah.
what I didn't know is that the first 5K, 3.1 miles, was 5 obstacles, meaning the last 3.1 miles had 20 obstacles. That was a challenge.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
was an absolute challenge.
That's a lot of obstacles per mile,
Yeah, and I mean,
per kilometer.
you're picking up 60-pound uh, uh, bean bags, putting them on your shoulder,
Yes.
going through the woods.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Right?
those Home Depot containers full of rocks, going
Yes.
barbed wire on your knees in the dirt and the rocks, and yeah, it was something. It was something.
Yeah.
I
Why do you do that?
I do it because my wife introduced me to it. I was a runner my whole life, and I don't know. I
Whoa,
just,
whoa, 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 whoa. My wife has introduced me to a lot of things that I do not do. Why do you do it?
yeah, I don't know. I was looking for a challenge. I did it last year,
Yeah.
and I just got
Yeah.
addicted to it. And so
Uh-huh.
there's just something about challenging yourself.
There
we've
you
talked
go.
about this. Both of us are not the biggest fans of heights. And there's something about climbing on a rope up a damn pole that I don't know. I don't know. So my plan is to actually do all 3 next year. They have a, so each one you do gets a little piece of a medal, and you put all 3 together and it's one.
Uh-huh.
And I was going to try it this year, and I had a little foot injury. So that's why I only did one this year. But my plan is to do 3, which is a 5K, a 10K, and a 21K, with 30 obstacles.
Over a year or something? Or
Some
this is in
people
a
crazy
day?
enough did it over a weekend, but
Oh,
you have to do it within a racing season. So depending on how the schedule goes, I'm going to try and do one in Houston, Austin, and then Dallas. So
okay. Okay.
Texas 3-step.
The Texas three-step.
So that's my
Go
plan.
ahead.
That's my plan, and I'm doing the gobble gobble, the turkey one, the 5K here in Keller next
Is
week,
it,
Thanksgiving. So
okay. What day is that?
it's actually
It's on
Thanksgiving morning.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
there's like 8 of us going, and you'll love this, Josh, because both of us have been in these aspects in our life.
Uh-huh.
One of the family members that's coming, he has a new girlfriend who is a marathon runner. So she's like, "Well, you're going to run it with me." This guy does not run. So gotta
Uh-uh.
go do it for the lady.
So do you expect she'll wait for him
No,
or wait for him at the finish line?
at the finish line, she's gonna
At
leave
the
him.
finish line? See ya.
Yep,
Aha,
she's
deuces.
gonna leave him. This poor dude is gonna have to go 3.1 miles, and he does not run.
How does this guy feel about this being his last date with this woman?
Right, right.
Not good.
Well,
Just kidding. All the best to him.
We got Ava doing it too. My stepdaughter,
Oh,
who she didn't want to
nice.
do it either. She said, "I'm gonna get
Uh,
a bike and ride it with the other guy. We're gonna do a tandem bike."
there you go. Get those e-bikes.
Right. Absolutely. But the things
That's
we do
funny.
for love, right, bro?
Hey, listen, come on. I can count 3 of them.
Right. Exactly. Well, hey man, we didn't talk
Yes.
about this recap, but
What?
we got to talk a little bit of having Evans on the show, man. That was wild.
Right? That dude. He was wilder than he was back on the road.
I know.
Right? He was just simmering on the road. He was watching, paying attention. He was like, "Oh, wait till I get off. I got
He
some things."
just this
He's a
like
good dude.
this quiet dude out there, really just,
Uh huh. Uh
pretty
huh.
simple dude.
Not in the lounge, which is the point, right? Yeah,
It
that's
is
what
the
the lounge
point.
is about.
It
Yeah,
is the
definitely.
point.
Let your hair down a little bit. And, it's a lounge. If you have a beverage, we're adults, as long as you're an adult, right?
Right, right, right,
Disclaimer.
right.
Uh, but yeah, yeah. He's so good. Speaking of Evans, this past Friday, I
Yeah.
went and saw
Oh,
him in the Dime Store Hoods in the foundation room at the House of Blues.
how was that?
It was very nice. There was a cabaret show
Oh, wow.
performed in front of them. Yes, so they were in between music and accompanying music. So that was really cool. They
Is
were
this a
fitting
couple ladies or just one lady? Well, how'd that work?
hand. Let's see. I think I do. I remember 5 in total. One bounced, and the other 4 did 2 each.
Is this a
Do
troupe?
I remember that right? I gathered. I gathered it was a at least a a known company that they may have
Organized.
revolving members, that sort of
Right.
thing. But yeah, I apologize to the cabaret show. I don't remember their name specifically, but they were great. Some beautiful ladies doing some great dances and great costumes. Um, and I tried to get some video footage for Evans,
Yeah.
and I took four cameras,
Yep.
three GoPros, and my Canon, and I think I got about 10 minutes of footage on one GoPro. Uh, I think I proved why I am in fact an actor, performer, not a camera guy. On top of the fact that a couple of the dancers knocked down my strategically placed GoPro.
Ah, well.
One of them, and then the other one. I don't think that the trombone player was too happy that there was a GoPro on his music stand.
Oh.
So I don't know if that was a convenient missing of footage there, but stay la be. I'm an actor. I'm a performer. Uh, Chris was nice enough to let me and Shannon be a guest at the show on
Oh,
top of
very
it. So
cool.
we had a great time, and we'll give him some extra B-roll for his promo video. And we have reconnected not only on the show, but looking to maybe do some music together
Oh, very cool.
in the future. Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
we'll see if we can work our schedules together. We're both, as if I don't have enough to do already. Uh, but just the possibility being there is enough to make me try.
Well,
So we'll see what happens.
there,
Yeah, plays that baritone sax. It is so nice. It's so,
he's such a
I love
talented
it.
guy. He's such a talented guy, and
And leading that band too. You should have seen him. He's like, "All right, guys, yeah, yeah, 1, 2, 3, yeah." So good to see.
yeah. Well, I went out and I photographed those or his first version of this uh,
Yes.
several times.
Uh-huh.
I just love him to death, and he is something when it comes to a musician. I mean, he's fabulous. I've seen it. Golly,
Yeah,
I've
he
seen
is.
him in everything he's done. 40 Acre Meals. If you haven't seen them, I just love them. The
Yeah,
rock
he's
band of music.
dialed in there.
Yeah, that thing is just awesome. So Chris he's something. But it's just funny because he was such a quiet guy on the road. Of course,
No
out he was
doubt.
slipping out to places. When you come on the lounge, we hear the real stories.
Right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'd forgotten about Tekken. You remind me of the PS2. PS2, right? Oh, it's been so long. The PlayStation. Yeah. But being around a bunch of actors and roadies, it's hard to stand out,
Yeah,
especially when you're already quiet like he was.
true. Yeah, yeah. Well, and the gerbil water bottle is the greatest story.
Dude, that's hilarious. I can't believe that. I'm a little ashamed. I didn't think about it first, to be honest. But like I said, yeah, I was doing all my drinking in the back lounge, and by the time I got to the bunk, it was to sleep.
He's that guy, man. I tell you, that brain. He's just a unique cat, which I just love him for it.
No doubt. Yeah. We always had a good time going to, and that was most of the time that I had to hang out with him besides maybe in the evening at the lounge, but we'd have time when we're waiting or getting ready or trying to figure out where we're going to be and what we're going to do. Or maybe after the 20th time of hearing uh, the Ducky song. Uh, and then we bonded a bit, and it was good dude. Good dude.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. We were changing the subjects a little bit, but
Huh.
keeping on the Barney world. It was funny. We were talking. I'm talking a lot of some of the Barney key people that I keep in touch with, and it's always interesting. We talk about, or they'll tell me stories of someone that just found out they were in Barney or something like this, and so they always have to tell you what their favorite song is, and it's always interesting because it'll be like a lot of way back stuff, a lot of way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the producers the other day, and he was talking about someone who called him up and just said to say my favorite. I grew up with a camping a we go. And I was like, God, dog, is that
Camping we will go.
that's like way back.
That's crazy.
I don't know. It's way back. I don't know. I always think obviously Knickerbocker, and I love, everyone obviously brings up I Love You. Um,
Sure.
did you have a
The
favorite song?
cleanup song.
What was your favorite song to perform?
Oh my gosh. Uh I like the kite song on the road.
Okay.
I love to fly my kite. Mainly because of the prop. I thought it was a fun one. You know, just a giant stiff wire with a kite on the end of it. But we you know
Yeah,
spun it around, made it look like it was flying, and
yeah,
that was a fun little bit. I think it might have been my favorite song too because I could just stand and spin
yeah,
and move the mouth and take a break for a second.
yeah.
All right, kids, sing. And then come back into it. But let's see.
That's
Man,
interesting.
I really did like all the songs. They were really I had a little place in my heart for all of them. After you hear them so many times,
Yeah,
uh,
I
I don't know. What about you?
I don't know why I loved Welcome to Our Treehouse in the first one. I
That's a classic.
I
Yeah,
like that. I like the number. I like that aspect of it. Running up. I think it's so cool for kids to see Barney in a real treehouse. That's pretty dang cool.
a
On stage,
great
the
opening.
dude's
It's
running
a
up to the
great opening.
yeah. I don't know. There's something about that song. Um, I really liked, the opening, that was where for me, that was the beat down. That was because you were by yourself doing classic,
It was, bro.
like 10
Yeah,
minutes by
actually, for
yourself.
20, what was it, 19 or 22 minutes straight, something weird like that.
Yeah,
It was like from here to here, and there was no like,
nothing.
this is the easy part in that 22 minutes. It's just action all the way through, and then you came out, quick drink, eat, and then right back on after Old McDonald.
Well, that, and then, then the kids came out, right? We did the 20-minute opening, and then the kids came out for Welcome to My Treehouse. And that was my suck the air in, right? That was the part that felt good because you go in, Sydney, and you could sit there and catch your breath. You just did 20 minutes by yourself out there entertaining 5,000 people. And so then, welcome to our treehouse. It's not as, it's a little easier on the lungs there. It's a little bit easier. And then you can, then you bring in Baby Bop. She's got her thing. So it's a little bit, I did like the Baby Bop hop. Yeah, the Baby Bop hop.
Oh, that's a
Hop,
classic.
hop,
Yeah.
hop. That was fun. I don't know why I really didn't care for the robot song. That kind of wore me out a little bit. And I've always,
robots.
yeah.
We are little robots. What would I like? Raindrop song. I love the Raindrop song.
Now, yeah, I really like that on the TV show. Because there was a point, you and I grew up, Barney, with Miss Penny. She was our hero, she was our leader. But when I was doing the TV show, at one point we had another choreographer, but then they went to a rotating. So we would have like every week someone new. And so they always wanted to put their spin on that. So Raindrops was all of a sudden becoming a little bit different each time. Knickerbocker, they were doing all kinds of different things with that. So that, freshened up a little bit, still kept the soul of the song, but it made it a little bit more interesting. So those were, I don't know, I always liked Raindrop. And I don't know why I seem to be the only person that every time I bring up this song, they're like, oh my gosh, we hated that song. But I loved The Green Grass Grows. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I like that song. Absolutely. And in this hole, there was a, yeah.
And I think it's because of Radio City Music Hall, the first show. They actually had a tree. And so there was a puppet up there. And so every time, in this, it would show up. There was a nest and a bird. And I don't know why that did, but because I've talked to like Dennis DeShazer about it, one of the producers, one of the creators, and he was like, "Oh my gosh," because it's long. It's long.
Yeah.
But of course, I think that's why the kids love it, and for the kids, especially at Radio City, they're
repetition.
Like, so that allowed them and their imagination.
I'm gonna get it this time.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bird. Look at the bird. Oh, there's an egg. So I don't know. I seem to be the only one that liked that song. Now it's you too. So the two of us like that
song.
No,
I dig that song. I'll give a shout out to Bob West. It's one of my favorite examples of him talk singing that he does, and I it's one of his quirks that I like.
Right.
That he's not necessarily singing notes, but he's talking.
Yeah.
But at the end, when the big crescendo, the biggest tree that you ever did see.
Right.
Yeah. It's fun. And those kids are, because when they remember, oh yeah, it's a whole tree and the nest and they dig it.
Oh, absolutely. I remember I would sometimes because we could add stuff, when you're doing the TV show, you're given dance moves, but then you can, and I'm known for putting spins. That was my thing. I was a top. Sloan used to always laugh at me. Oh, you just keep spinning. I don't know. It just kind of became my thing, but I would just work the heck out of that damn Green Grass and Grows. I'd be spinning and Like a wild person
Yes.
working that song, because it would be, if you don't put the movement into it, it could get a little long and repetitive. But if you're in there just dancing and, oh my God, like you said, right, and a tree, and that allows you as a performer to put a lot of emotion into it too, a lot of movement.
Yeah, yeah. I also like the nursery rhyme medley that we did in the show.
That's because you like
That was
Humpty
a fun
Dumpty.
one. Yeah, I did like that one.
Yeah, because who was doing Humpty Dumpty?
Seth, Seth at first.
Yeah,
Yeah, then Rich finished up.
yeah. That's why
That
you
was the
like to
thing.
see those crew guys doing Humpty.
The funnest thing too, because they were just their roadie self coming, all right, and this is where the cow jumps over the moon,
Right.
and it comes back over the moon, and we push it off the stage. See you, kid. Yeah, and they do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you have
In my
loved to have been
mind,
there when they told them what they were going to have to? Now, someone's going to have to be Humpty Dumpty. What? They
yes.
all drawing straws. See who got that
Ah, jeez. Uh-huh.
job.
Fun times.
Yeah. That brought in Mother Goose. That was
Yeah.
Mother Goose and the King.
Mother Goose and the Goose,
Mother Goose and the Goose. That's right.
right?
And then old King
And the
Cole.
King.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you.
It's Mama Gunza on Espanol.
I know. I know. So crazy. All right,
Fun
but what
times.
you got? What do you got? You just did something, right? We just did a little Comic-Con,
Yeah, last night,
little
Rager
signing.
and I were at Four Corners Brewing Company in Dallas, downtown Dallas.
Yeah, they've been
Had
around for a while.
listen, we had a nice time. It wasn't super crowded. It wasn't a lot of people there, but it was a nice time meeting some good people. And on top of it, this guy, call him Spinny, and he's disabled, and he's in a wheelchair, and he books and runs and produces all of these events, and all of them are with disabled, uh,
Oh, that's great.
community in mind. And this one was for the Scottish Rite Children's Hospital, and you are gonna love this. I may have mentioned this to you before, but it's going to happen. Uh, he is arranging to get some voice actors together to go to the children's hospital and do like we did with the purple one.
That's awesome.
The kids who can come down to the lobby, do a little meet and greet, do some pics, and after that, go upstairs to the rooms, right? Go to the rooms that would like a visit. Do that for, for me, however long, if however many people want. But yeah. So
It's
I've
that's just such a cool thing.
right.
Just such a cool
Yeah, I
thing.
think so too. He asked us if we'd be involved with, and I absolutely, no, didn't
Oh,
have to
it's
ask twice.
it's amazing. People ask me all the time about when they find out about the Barney, and I know they do with you too. And we did so many cool things, but to me, nothing beats that. Nothing beats that.
Yeah,
Those
yeah. I
opportunities.
mean, no, sorry. Yeah, no offense, but besides that, it would just been a job for me, with all due respect.
Yeah.
Um, the message was great on the show, and it did its thing, and I would have been just as proud to be a part of the show, but it wouldn't have meant what it does now had the hospitals not been a part of that for me. I
Right.
think that kind of makes sense, but I think for some people they could be cold about it. I don't know, but for me it was a huge thing, and it made it worth it made it worth doing something that I didn't necessarily think I was fit to do for one reason or another.
Right. Well, it's I know for me, and I presume for you as well, it made us grow up very quickly. I was 23 years old when I did my
Yeah.
first hospital. This was back in
Uh-huh.
91. And
Yeah.
this was before the TV show. And Sloan took me
Right.
over to Children's Hospital. And,
Mhm.
you know, I I was looking forward to it. I was very excited about it, but I didn't understand the popularity of Barney at that point. And like I said, no TV show, but he was very popular in Dallas at that time. There'd been a few videos with Sandy Duncan, and when he walked in a room, and he was so real to these kids, there's my friend that understands me, and man,
Yeah.
did that just like, wow, it was, I mean, we talk about these changes you have, all of a sudden you have to, oh my gosh, this is really real to them, right? And obviously they're not here to see me, so that's where that comes in of really being a performer and being there for them, and at the same time, my God, what you're getting back from those kids is just the lessons and the love and all that stuff's incredible.
No doubt. No doubt.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
cool.
So I'm glad that I'm going to be able to do some more of that kind of thing with my voiceover universe. And hopefully I'm hoping to maybe take that to the other cons, maybe make that a thing whenever you come into
I,
town to do a con, a handful, whoever can come in early enough and go go shake some hands and make some people happy that can't come to the con at all, but that maybe would want to. You know,
right.
it's
Yeah.
not like it used to be. It's not like nobody knows what Dragon Ball Z is. Uh, uh,
No, 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 no. My God.
or whatever. There's every anime, everybody.
Right.
I mean, everybody got some kind of idea of what's going on, and the people that appear at these events, somebody somebody is going to be a draw for a large people, and if you bring a handful of them, then you know divide and conquer. I
Absolutely.
don't know. So what if you're watching, you tell your local community you'd like to see that, and we'll gain some interest and build awareness and spread some love.
Yeah, and you can always do that. By the way, you can always contact us through DM on Instagram, Mixtape Lounge Podcast. You can
Please,
always send us messages. We read them and respond to them as well.
yeah, you got any questions? Send them in. Uh, maybe if we get enough questions for either of us, maybe one will interview the other. Maybe you get send in a bunch of questions for Carey, and I'll interview him, or vice versa.
Or vice versa.
Or for
Absolutely.
anyone else, and maybe some of these people that can't necessarily coordinate schedules, we can at least get an email and get an answer from that person directly, and and get some interaction that way. So we appreciate you, everybody watching, tuning in, and the support and love. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're going to wrap this episode up. But I think we're just going to, next week, we're going to have a guest, right? We're going to make it happen,
I,
have a guest.
Now is next week. Next week is Thanksgiving, isn't it? Or we got 2 weeks.
No, it is next
This
week.
week is
We'd have to record quick. It
Yeah,
could be
right.
in 2 weeks then. So if we
There
can't
it
pull it
is.
off very quickly, it could be in 2 weeks. But the next time you see us, there'll be someone on
That's
the
right.
screen with us.
We are going to make sure we got a guest.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Yeah,
got,
we have them. We've been coordinating schedules, and yeah, we got a few lined up that are going to be nice.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for watching The Lounge. Love being in the lounge with you, Mr. Martin.
Back at you, Mrs. Stinson. Thank you, sir.
Perfect. We will see you next week or in
Have a
two
great
weeks,
day.
depending on the holiday.
Yeah, just keep watching. You know, if we're not back, go watch another episode that you missed. Rewatch an episode that you liked. You know, give it. Make sure you thumbs up all of them. Add a comment to the ones that you didn't. There's always an option. Don't make
Like and
excuses.
subscribe. Thank you, sir, Mr. Martin. Like and subscribe.
Put it someplace, will you?
See you next week.